Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. The arbitration is ongoing between Ye and Adidas, and things aren't looking good because Adidas is telling a lie. And I'm going to tell you how I know that they are lying. If you're not aware, last year October, Adidas illegally seized $75 million from Ye's Yeezy bank account. How did they illegally seize it? Well, with the powers that be, they were able to do so because normally, if you're going to freeze someone's bank account, that individual should be notified and they should get a lawyer to represent them in court or to represent the case. Not only that, Adidas would have needed to provide some type of evidence that the money that they're requesting the court to freeze but may belong to them. May, right? Adidas wasn't able to provide any documents, suggesting that the $75 million in the Yeezy bank account may belong to them. And not just that, Ye was not notified. The case was sealed, it was locked away, and Ye's money became inaccessible to him. Now, it was 2 months or so ago that Ye's attorney insisted that, the right thing is done as it relates to this money. And that is where Judge Caproni came in. Judge Caproni unfroze the account because she's saying that initially the money should not have been frozen without Ye being able to represent himself. Ye should have been advised of it so that he could seek proper representation. Not just that, Caproni said that Adidas did not even provide a shred of evidence. How is it that the money in Ye's Yeezy bank account belonged to them, and as such, the money shouldn't have been frozen in the first place? Now, after the funds was unfrozen, made available to Ye, Adidas went back in for a second time, attempted to freeze it. They didn't have any evidence, so they lost the second time, if you guys remember that article. Now they're currently in arbitration. And what Adidas is coming up with now is some sorry ass excuse. No. Adidas is saying that Ye mishandled virtually all of the money from a $100 million a year marketing fund meant for Yeezy. That's what Adidas is saying. Now, if you guys remember, when Adidas cut ties with Ye, Adidas wanted to sue Ye for marketing fees. I want you guys to remember that, and I want you guys to search for those articles for yourself so that you can have an understanding of what they're trying to do. And if you remember, Ice Cube told us that they're still trying to steal his money, and this is how they're trying to do it. So when Adidas cut ties with Ye last year, Adidas wanted to sue Ye for marketing fees because they claimed that they went ahead marketed Yeezy, but because of Ye's anti-Semitism, they lost everything because they had to cut ties with Ye. Ye said, no, you cannot sue me because I told you guys that I'm your walking billboard. You don't need to pay for advertising. And we can see where that is true. We all know that is factual, right? So Adidas really could not take Ye to court because, Ye had evidence that he said to them, do not do any marketing. If you do so, you would only be wasting that money. So the red flag here is that if Adidas had, pumped $100 million into Ye and, other businesses of his, they're saying that Ye exhausted this $100 million. Why is it that when Adidas wanted to sue Ye last year for that marketing fee, that could not have been held up in court because Ye said to them, and he had evidence that I told you guys not to do any marketing for Yeezys because you're walking billboard. Because Ye knows the power that he has. He knows that he has a cult fan base. He knows that once he wears one sneaker, Offset and everyone else would want a pair. So he was right at that moment. And that's still the case. So what Adidas is saying is that, Ye mishandled that $100 million, and he mishandled it to the point where they can see that there's $75 million remaining in the Yeezy bank account, and that is what they are currently in arbitration for. Now, the second red flag for me is this. Make no mistakes. We know that Ye has a history, he has a history of poor money handling. But the mere fact that Adidas could not produce this argument over the past 6 months when they initially requested to froze his bank account, it's 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 saying that Adidas is grabbing at straws here, because initially when they froze the account, if they had that as, a lead, it would have been used, and the money would have still been frozen, and they would be in a legal battle at this point instead of arbitration. I wonder if you guys understand what I'm saying. So last year, November, I believe the date was November 2nd to be exact, Adidas, with the powers that be, got a judge to seize Ye's bank account illegally. They said that $75 million is ours and we want it, right? Now, when you see someone money, you should say that 75 million is ours. It is from $100 million that we had deposited to two different accounts that belongs to Ye, and he has exhausted some of the funds, leaving $75 million. Adidas could not provide that argument initially. So after 8 months, they were able to come up with this as an excuse. So if it took them 8 months after freezing his account to come up with this excuse, it's given the sense that, they had to come up with a lie. They had to come up with a plan. And this was the lie. This was the plan. So let's talk about it some more, right? Adidas claimed that last year it paid $50 million into a Yeezy bank account in Wyoming, where the rapper designer used to live, and a $25 million into Yeezy's JP Morgan Chase account in New York, all to be put in a special pot for marketing. Instead, it alleges that the money was immediately transferred into a separate general account where it was commingled with other Yeezy funds in violation of their agreements. Adidas is locked in secret arbitration with Ye and three of his companies, claiming he single-handedly reduced the promising venture to economic rubble. It is pursuing an accounting of the funds and return of the $75 million minus any amount Yeezy can show was used for valid marketing purposes, as well as unspecified monetary damages. Now, they're saying that the arbitration is a secret, but it's not. Listen to what they did. Listen to what Adidas did. Because Adidas is on a plot with the powers that be to make it seem as though he's just a horrible person. He's a really bad guy. So during court, Judge Caproni says, before you all proceed today, just know that someone from the press can walk in at any moment. So because someone from the press can walk in at any moment, what the judge was basically saying is proceed with caution, right? Because even though it's an arbitration, even though the press can show up, their documents that they can download online, submit, to show up to these hearings. Judge Caproni saying, proceed with the hearing, but beware it's possible reporter could walk in. And at the end of that sentence, a reporter had walked in. Like, the lawyer that was representing Adidas was like, okay, that's fine. And then that lawyer went into sensitive details the moment that someone from the press had walked into the courtroom. So there and then you can tell immediately that they want this information to get out. Not because Adidas claims are legit, because Adidas is a culprit of bad behavior. This is what Adidas does. Adidas just goes around, sues people for their money. Adidas tends to have this belief that if someone has something and they set their eyes on it, it automatically belongs to them. That is their practice. They've done this to quite a few companies, but they have never ever been successful in such lawsuits. One of the most recent lawsuits that Adidas did this in was to Thom Browne, that brand, that famous brand that Tiana Taylor works with. Tiana Taylor's Met Gala look, it was Thom Browne. Thom Browne, their designs superb. Adidas is claiming universal rights over Stripe. Thom Browne uses Stripe in a lot of their apparels. So Adidas is saying that whenever Thom Browne uses Stripe, it may confuse their customers to believe that, oh my God, there's some stripes on that garment. It has to be Adidas, as though Tommy Hilfiger and other various brands does not use stripes. And the honest truth is that Thom Browne apparels that carries the stripe, they look more of a Tommy Hilfiger and nothing like an Adidas. But somehow Adidas is still hell-bent that we came up with stripes, and if anyone is using stripes, we're gonna sue them. And most recently, they made an attempt to sue Black Lives Matter, but they had fear of prosecution because Adidas is always scraping and running to the black community looking for a financial bailout, because let's keep it real, the black community loves sneakers, love trends, love designs, love washed up companies like Adidas. So for years we've been carrying Adidas on our backs, but when they decided that they wanted to go ahead and sue Black Lives Matter, there were seniors in their company saying, you know what, the black community has been carrying Adidas on their back all this time. And if you sue Black Lives Matter, then the company is going to be done for. But let's keep it real. Adidas is already done for. There's no coming back from the fall that they're at, because without you, the company's nothing. And we're finding now that in this arbitration, Adidas is also saying that they own the rights to Ye's Yeezy designs. So not only is Adidas trying to steal this man's money, they're trying to steal his creativity. So a part of this arbitration is Adidas fighting to keep Ye's designs. But as the internet said, because we could see this coming, we saw this coming, because what Adidas did, they tried to pitch the internet to the idea that, what they said was that Adidas designed the best-selling Yeezys. The internet was like, okay, so since you guys were the ones who designed the best-selling Yeezys, why is it that you guys didn't have Yeezys until Ye? And that's when the internet realized that Adidas was just nasty. They were just a bunch of, thieves, to be quite honest. Adidas is a thief, and there's no other way to put it, right? And people were like, you know what, Adidas, we were giving you guys the benefit of the doubt, but at this time, we're just done with your ass because we know where Yeezys is coming from. So Adidas is pivoting back to that idea again, that they designed Yeezys. Adidas is saying that they own the rights to Yeezys. But we know there's only one Yeezy, and that is Mr. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. And this is why Ye is currently in Japan, because He knows what's going on. He knows their plan. And I believe that he's going to be in Tokyo, Japan for a very long period, as I've been saying to you guys for the past couple of weeks, because America is just not that place for him at this point. It's not ideal. And we can see a few artists, visiting Japan just to meet with him in regards to their collaboration on his upcoming album. So chances are the album might also be released in Japan. And it's good. I mean, no one wants to be in a high level of toxicity. Okay? No one wants to be in a toxic environment. And as such, I would say to you, if you can live in Tokyo, Japan, and not return to the US, then stay there. And we don't have to tell this guy that. He's pretty smart. He might be done for a period, but once his focus is set in, he's going to make the right decision. And we don't need to worry about this guy, because guess what? No matter how cold and dark things may look for him today, we know the end result is going to be Adidas is going to lose. He's going to come out on top. And if you lose, there's going to be a bigger win. We all know the story for Ye. We all know that there is something supernatural moving in this man's life. I don't know what it is, but like hell, I want some of that. But guys, that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. You all know the end results of this lawsuit. We all know the end results of these cases. We know how everything is going to play out based on what we have been observing for the past 8 to 9 months. But I still want to hear from you though, because I know that you guys are going to be like, oh, he's going to win. Oh, they're all going to fail. Oh, and but I'm never tired of the comments. So let me hear from you and see you all next time. Bye, guys.